Today I'm going to be showing you something called the scaffold method. The scaffold method is a division method that is helpful for dividing bigger numbers without having to know a bunch of specific multiplication facts. So to set this up, we're going to put our first number, 1064, underneath the division bar, and then 8 to the side. And then this is going to look exactly like a long division problem, except we're going to draw this line down the side. So to do this problem, we're going to be finding how many groups of 8 are in 1064. So I'm going to start off with 100 groups of 8, so I'm going to write 100 over here. And then because it's 100 groups of 8, we know that that is 800 total, so I'm going to be subtracting 800 from 1064, which is going to leave me with 264. Next thing I'm going to try is 10 groups of 8, because it's an easy multiplication fact that I know. 10 groups of 8 is 80, so I will subtract that, and it'll leave me with 184. And then I'm just going to do another 10 groups and get 80. And that's going to give me 104, and I think I'm going to do 10 groups one more time. So I'll be subtracting 104 and 80, which will give me 24. And I look at the 24 and the 8, and I know that there's 3 groups of 8 is 24, so I'm going to do 3 there and 24 and subtract those and get 0. But if you didn't want to do 3 and you wanted to stick with the base 10 method, you could do one group of 8 3 times and you would still end up with the same answer. So off to the side, our 100, our 10s, and our 3, those are our groups. So to find our answer, we're going to add 100, our 10s, and our 3, and we're going to get 133, telling us that there are 133 groups of 8 in 1064. Now to the other side of the paper, you'll see that I have drawn out some base 10 blocks. I started with a 1000 cube, which I then split up into 10 100 blocks, and I used 8 of those 100 blocks to put into my 8 groups below. And I did this earlier to save time, but I'm showing you a little bit now of how I got there. And then I was left with 2 100 blocks, which I then split into 10 10s, so I could split those equally into our groups below. And eventually I was left with 24 ones, which I split into our 8 groups below. So looking at one group of 8, we have 100 block. We have a 100 block, just like over here. We have a 10 block, just like over here, another 10, another 10, and then our 3s. So that is the scaffold.